Coach Josh, live from Training for Warriors Portland, and I want to talk to you today about goals. One of my favorite topics, and I'm really excited to get into it today, but we're talking about goals and why we set them and how important it is. And man, there's a lot behind this. I mean, goals sort of do so much for the work that you have to do. And one of the big things that having a strong goal does for you is, you know, especially in fitness or anything in life, provides focus for your efforts. So like, if you're getting up in the morning, you're lifting weights, eating broccoli, doing the right things, sprinting, taking care of your body, why are you doing that? What is the goal? What's the outcome that you want to achieve from that? And if you know what it is, well, you can sort of see how these actions that you have serve to help one another. So if my goal is to lose 10 pounds of fat, and I know I got to get up in the morning and work out every other day, that's great. And I might have some collateral ideas too. It's like, okay, I'm gonna lift some weights, I'm gonna build some muscle, and those things serve each other. So I can see how these activities and these outcomes are in alignment. And then my efforts can get more streamlined to support the goals that I'm setting. And it'll become really obvious if I have goals to, like, you know, be a champion powerlifter and you know, also win the Boston Marathon. Those might be some competing interests and might be very difficult to reconcile. So having a goal, a solid goal, will help focus your efforts to support your activities. And having a goal and you're setting your sights on something and taking, you know, benchmarks and measurements allows you to kind of get some motivation from your actions and activities.
Adrian's here.
Hey, yo, Adrian. So when you see the weight go up on the bar, or the weight go down on the scale, or you know, your body fat decrease, or you build some muscle, or even just
so is Elizabeth.
Learn something new, well, you're a little bit more motivated. And the activity, every action that you take builds a little bit of momentum, and it becomes easier and easier to get momentum and be more successful along that journey. So just getting closer to your goal can cause you a little bit more motivation. So it also enhances your commitment. So if you have an outcome or a North Star that you're really attracted to, and it will not be as difficult to pull that motivation out of yourself, and it also makes you more focused and more committed to the outcome. And the commitment will give you more energy to put in your activities, put in your exercise, your training, to get you to where you want to go. That commitment will keep you from, you know, using a setback as a reason to stop or quit. Commitment will get you in a problem-solving mode instead of a problem-finding mode. Commitment does a lot for you. And having a goal really helps with your commitment as long as it's something that means something to you and that you're really tied to that. So just by having a goal, you get more focus, motivation, commitment, and it's also a chance to practice some selfishness, because it's good to benefit other people, but our actions and activities should also benefit ourselves directly. And I think that a lot of times people don't have a healthy way to practice this selfishness. So selecting a goal for you that you really care about actually gives you a chance to practice that, get out of your comfort zone.
Shout out to Mark.
Hey Mark, it's good to see you, buddy. So practice that selfishness, select a goal, and here's another thought while you're thinking on goals, is the goal is to end in a noble place, not to begin in one. So you don't need to be, doesn't have to be a highfalutin or intrinsically altruistic goal or objective that you start with. It could be selfish, and that will be enough to get you moving. And as you grow and get more and become more, then you can, you know, have these more holistic or these more noble endeavors.
Adrian's got a question.
Yes.
Should there be different kinds of goals, easier or harder?
Easier or harder? I'm going to talk about that. When a goal is intimidating and how to set those big ones. Why people don't set goals, to get right into that, Adrian, is, well, when you start to write down the things that you want, sometimes people feel, and this is what I feel when I set goals, as soon as I write it down, I'm like, ugh, do I even deserve that? Like, who am I to get what I want, to achieve something, to you know, bench press 1,000 pounds? That's not my goal, but that's a pretty cool goal. Like, you know, this feeling of imposter syndrome and I don't deserve it, that comes up for me. So I think it's important to address that directly. Get it out. Get it out into the air. Write it down, or write down what your thoughts are around these things and start to confront some of those ideas of not deserving. Because if you're watching this video, you deserve it. You deserve it. Sometimes setting goals are overwhelming. Talk about big goals. Like if you have a goal to lose 100 pounds, if you want to drop 100 pounds, like you're going to totally change your life. That's huge. That's amazing. That's great. You should do that. I mean, if you have 100 pounds to lose, then good for you. Set that goal. That's huge. That might take you a year. It may take you 2 years. It might take you a while to get to that goal. That doesn't mean you shouldn't set it, but it does mean you have to break it into smaller, bite-sized little pieces. We'll talk about what that looks like in a second. And sometimes people don't set goals because they're intimidated, and having that goal puts a lot of pressure on them to feel like they have pressure to act, to achieve, to win, to get there to that goal. Otherwise, they'll be mad at themselves. But that's kind of good. You should set a goal that's a little bit scary. You should set a goal that's a little bit challenging. To answer your question, Adrian, small or big goals? I think you should set big goals that are a little bit intimidating and take them apart, take them piece by piece, one at a time. Because if you've got a goal that you're kind of afraid of, kind of afraid to achieve, good. That's scary. And if you breathe and sit with that fear, breathe into it, man, that fear turns into excitement. You can use it. You can use that energy to attack, to get aggressive with your process. Whether that's being a better friend, getting in great shape, losing weight, we were just talking about. Whatever it is, use that energy that you feel when you think about it to fuel the effort, to fuel your changes, to make new habits, to change your trajectory. So here's a little secret on how to keep from getting overwhelmed. So you got a big goal. For me, or there's a phrase that gets tossed out in the self-development world. It's don't set goals for items that you want. Don't look at things that you want to bring into your life. Set a goal of becoming a certain kind of person, or growing into be a more ideal version of yourself, and then be the kind of person that attracts those things into their life. And what I'll say is, I think if you set goals in this more global, more larger picture, it's a great North Star. Like, I have a goal of being pound for pound the strongest man in Oregon. That's a huge goal that I'm years away from achieving. But it's like a North Star. It's up here. And every day I guide myself on my journey along the path towards the North Star, and I don't need to actually reach out and touch it. All my decisions are focused and motivated off of this North Star, and then I forget about it. It's up there. I'm down here on the earth in the dirt. And then I just keep looking up and say, yep, I'm headed in the right direction. And then actually, I hope I get there someday. That would be amazing. I would celebrate that. But if I never get there, that's okay. Because I'm really happy on this journey here in the dirt on my way to go get that thing. Because I'm having fun. And I've taken the pressure off. I've set a huge goal, then I lifted it up and used it as a guidepost. And then I marched this. So I don't feel like I'm overwhelmed or intimidated by the fact that I'm not there yet. And that I'm a long way off. That's okay with me. Because it's a guiding light. That helps me take off the pressure, which gives me more enthusiasm and excitement for the process. And another analogy I like to use is the marathon is 26 miles, and only about an inch of that 26 miles is the finish line. The rest of it, that's just the race. That's, life is the process. A very small amount of it is the celebration in the end zone. Eye roll. Thank you. Good. So, set big goals, Adrian. Set big goals and have little small benchmarks where you're like, okay, so if I'm trying to bench 500 pounds, first bench 100 pounds, then bench 200 pounds, then bench 250, and keep going and going and going until you get there. And those are your little signposts along the journey, along the path to your North Star. So, if there are no more questions, I'm going to end with a request that everybody who's watching this post a goal down below, or post your goal setting process, or post a goal, because that's how I learn. I learn from other people doing their thing. So if you have a great goal or a great idea for a goal, post it down here in the comment section below. And until I see you again, Coach Josh here from Training for Warriors Portland, helping you bring out the warrior within.